we interrupt your regularly scheduled interview to bring you a new episode of the Anime Dudes podcast. For those of you that don't know, my name is Bjorvio, and joining me, we have not one, but two people. So, why don't you regularly scheduled co-hosts join and introduce yourself to everyone else?
Hi, I am the Anime Dad, aka Riley, aka the Kiwi South African Jack Fist. That was a nickname I got given in high school. But with me, we have a special guest to the podcast, and maybe you can introduce yourself, Robbie.
I am Robbie from the RI Voices TikTok sort of stuff. I do anime videos and I dub in my own rendition of the voices. Like I have my Vegeta voice. A lot of people like those videos, and I've been coming out with one that I was going to kind of release some little snippet of voices here on the improv for the new video that I was going to release. But yeah, TikTok's really my game.
Awesome. Nice. How long have you been doing it, Robbie?
Really not that long. It's kind of blowing up faster than I thought it would. I started making videos a couple months ago, and some of them are up to like almost 2,000 likes, or like I think what's the biggest one? I think almost like 2,000, 3,000 likes on one of them or something like that. Vegeta, everybody loves as always. He's a big one.
That's cool. It's great to have you on, Robbie, and I can see from your background in your shirt that you're a My Hero Academia fan, and
oh yes,
that's what we're talking about at the moment. We're not only a My Hero Academia podcast, but right now we're going through the My Hero Academia arcs, and yeah, today, actually maybe we can let Shigaraki intro what we're talking about today. We have Shigaraki with us as well. Shigaraki has taken time to come here, so even though he might be temperamental, let's just make sure we're kind to him. Shigaraki, what are we talking about today?
I will introduce myself, thank you. I don't need you to try and walk all over me and do that for me. I'm the one that will bring change to this new society. Anyway, know your place.
Sorry, sir.
Anyway, we are going to be talking about, we're going to leave behind all the talk of heroes and all those disgusting mortals that need to have their entire society changed. We're going to be taking a look at the real heroes of this arc. We are going to be looking at the League of Villains as we destroy that meta liberation army and restructure it into something much more beautiful.
Brilliant, Shigaraki. Great to have you on, by the way. You were, it's $4,000 well spent, is what I say. Now, I really like this arc as a whole. Bjorvio, what would you give it out of 10 as a My Villain Academia arc? What would you rate it out of 10?
Well, considering there's only one arc of My Villain Academia, 10 out of 10, but also 0 out of 10. No, I'm kidding. In terms of the show, it's one of those that the first time I watched it, it really didn't resonate with me all that much, if we're being honest. It was just kind of like, oh, okay, this is the thing that happens, blah, blah, blah. But no, this arc is actually really good. And the more that I've watched it, the more I've picked up on subtle little things here and there that make me realize that, no, this is a well-written arc that really is, number one, a nice change of pace from what we're used to in My Hero Academia. Number two, it starts off a really big change in the series that's going to be going on from this point onward, and we really get to see a lot of growth from the villains. And let's be real, that doesn't happen enough in anime, especially where the villain just sidetracks the entire plot just to be like,
no, this is our time to be in the spotlight.
So true. Robbie, what's your favorite My Hero Academia villain?
That's tough because I mean Splice is cool because he is a Deadpool knockoff, but I love Deadpool, so that was pretty cool for me. But I would have to say probably Dobby, especially with the huge reveal that we just had not that long ago. That was pretty insane. So his blue fire is awesome.
Truly is. Yeah, incredible character. But you're
Is he
right.
your favorite too, Anime Dad?
Oh, my favorite villain. My favorite villain. I think it would be. It has to be either Shigaraki or Gigantomachia. I think Gigantomachia is just
Ooh.
so cool. The way he, he's got this like weird. He's a weird mystery of a man who's got the backstory, like a strange backstory, and he's got this enormous power, and he's obviously been used a lot by All for One. But I agree with what you were saying before. I like the fact that they brought some humanity to the villains, because now that we know the villain, now that we understand the villain's motives, backstory, feelings, we get to know them a bit more. It makes the battle scenes more entertaining. It makes you more invested in their story as well. I initially I was like, oh, I just miss seeing Deku and Bakugo, but I'm quite pumped that they did this whole arc. How does it start? I was going to call you Bakugo. How does it start, Bakugo?
Well, it starts off after us when we get through with the training with Endeavor. Then it just talks about some crap about how the League of Villains needs to get stronger and Shigaraki has to go fight that big mountain of a dude that nobody actually cares about. It's kind of weak, if we're being honest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to keep that up for too much longer. But yeah, they start off, they're fighting with Gigantomachia for days on end. Shigaraki's getting like maybe three hours of sleep once every 2 days. He's getting beat down. And then they get twice gets a call saying that they have Girin, their dealer, and they got to go to this town to liberate him. And they have an hour to do so. And so the plan is to try and use Gigantomachia and stall for time and this and that. And that's basically the setup for it, which, pretty decent setup. The villains got villained.
Yeah, great setup. Really good setup. And the way they include this liberation front and the leader, and it's basically a massive army. It makes the League of Villains look like small fries, even though they're extremely powerful. It makes them look like small fries, like side characters in their own story. So I love how they did that, and the way Gigantomachia was fighting Shigaraki in like this Shigaraki training arc, that was on point as well. That was really good. Now, Robbie, do you have any villain voices you can do for us?
From other animes, I haven't really tried too many villains from My Hero just yet.
That's okay. That's any um that is completely fine. Well, that will be a homework, all right, for next week. All right, your homework needs to be
research some villain bad guy voices.
Yeah, for My Hero Academia villains you need to
specifically know. Toga.
Yeah, who can't you do, Bjorvio?
Actually, Shigaraki's the only villain that I can do. I want to be able to do twice, but I'm not anywhere comfortable with that. My Dabi sucks. My Toga is probably more on point than my Dabi, if we're being honest. That's how bad it is.
You're pretty good at the higher voices. I like your Deku a lot.
Oh, thank you. That really means a lot.
But yeah, I can't do like spin. I've never tried to do spinner because I don't want to do spinner. So there's just, or I could probably do compress if I gave it some time, but I've never tried.
Yeah, there's I can do probably every single character on the My Hero Academia verse perfectly, but I don't like making you guys feel bad about yourselves, so I'd rather not. Now,
thanks. I appreciate that.
No, I know. Thank you. That's I know, but that's fine. I'm a kind guy. Now they go into, obviously, Gigantomachia falls asleep, and they move on to save their friend, which is very hero-esque, actually, isn't it? Trying to save their friend from being killed. That's quite hero. That's quite special. Even though Shigaraki's main reason is that he doesn't want to be blackmailed by the stupid army. But they go in, and we have some incredible moments of growth from each of the
Mm-hmm.
characters. Um, Now, Toga, how cool is her moment? I remember watching with my daughter and her activating Uravity's quirk in her with her own quirk. I was like, my mouth literally dropped open, and my daughter was like, "What? No!" You know, that just changes things humongously for her as a character. What's your thoughts, Bjorvio?
So that scene in particular, I remember because it really was a wake. It was cool for two reasons. Number one, Toga being able to use Aravity's quirk is like, oh, that's pretty stinking cool. I always wondered why she couldn't. So now this just makes sense. It's a very natural evolution. But number two, holy crap, does it shine a different light on Aravity? Like, Homegirl can go around just like, and I don't like you, snap. I don't like you, snap. You're cool, whatever. Like I can really see, like I didn't realize the Ravity's quirk could be used for that, and so now it's kind of like, oh, I'm really glad she's on the side of good and is only caring about the money.
That's a good point. Actually, it was quite ruthless the way she flipped and brought all those guys up and dropped them down. Robbie, do you remember that part quite well?
A little bit. I kind of like what Bjorvio just said, and that because I've always kind of seen Uravity and been like, oh, okay, like that's cool. She can make stuff float. But I haven't thought about her being in the bad aspect and like, okay, well, when are they coming back down? Whenever I want them to.
Hmm.
That is a little scary thinking about that. And then
Yeah.
now viewing Toga having a taste of that, maybe seeing it being used in that light, maybe she would want to take another chance at getting that power again, which is a
Mm.
terrifying thought.
Oh, absolutely.
Would she be able to use one for all? No.
That
I don't think she can because there's
is a
other
good
people in
question.
the show like Monoma can't copy it. Like the only real other quirk that we see have an effect on either copying or canceling one for all is Aizawa's quirk. But outside of that, we don't. No other quirk really seems to have an effect on it. I mean, even All for One. We'll get to that later. But yeah, no, I personally don't think that Toga could do it. But could you imagine the devastation if she could? Like Vigilante Deku on steroids? Oh my gosh.
Wanting everyone's blood as well. No, that would be absolutely terrifying. I think she,
And in that case, she would definitely get Deku.
yeah. Oh,
Like
you're
Right.
she's been
right.
But
wanting
now,
him.
but now I'm. But here's the other thing I just thought of: if Toga did get Deku, she would most likely break her arms and take herself out of the fight really early on because she doesn't know how to use it.
Yeah, she'd die. She'd blow herself up in a heartbeat. But
Yeah, she
that
has no
yeah,
like slowdown, she's going at it anytime that she can.
yeah. I
Right.
like her as a character. I met her. I got her signature actually. It's up there on the wall. Toga's voice actor. And I kiss it after every podcast to give me good luck. But it's no, it's great. It's great. And then who has the other who grows next as a villain? Is it Twice who grows next?
We get the incredible scene of Twice doing Sadman's Parade and the way that they introduce it with him caring about Toga, but him being scared about the copies that are there. And then what ends up fixing, quote unquote, fixing Twice was him getting his arms broken. He's like, ow, that really hurts. That really hurts. But that means I'm the original. I've been avoiding this for so long. I'm the one that's retaking this situation because I would never hurt my friends. And boom! Who saw that coming?
Goosebumps to the max. Really, really cool moment. And Twice would be one of my favorite villains. I didn't bring him up, but he is. I like the fact that he's got that weird ass backstory. He's got this quirk he doesn't really know how to control. He's got split personality disorder. He is a lot of fun, and that moment was goosebumps, and it really allowed the villains to take control of the Liberation Army. What's your thoughts on Twice, Robbie?
I said his name wrong earlier when I was talking about my favorite villains. No, Twice was the Deadpool guy that I really like. I like it, and it's honestly they did a very good job making him Deadpool-esque because original Deadpool is very crazy and has split personalities, and he's kind of like torn on the inside too because normal Deadpool says this, and then the educated side always talks him out of it, but the crazy, let's just do this side always kind of ends up taking over, and that's kind of where he's at because he's like, what I think it's really funny because he got himself in that predicament because he was lazy and he just duplicated himself to make himself do stuff for himself, and then all of a sudden it was like, wait, which one am I? That was your fault.
That's a valid point.
Yeah, you're right. He did get himself into the mess, but yeah, a great upgrade for him, and again makes him a formidable enemy to all the heroes out there. He can be an army in himself, which is incredible.
Agreed. We also get to see a little bit of growth from Dobby, who I do have him signed. Well, let me rephrase that. My wife has him signed. Super nice guy. Voice actor is absolutely incredible.
I thought you meant
just
Dobby.
super nice guy. Yes, Dobby is the nicest character in My Hero Academia by far. Forget Shoto, all about Dobby. Anyway, no, but I think the scene Dobby actually gives one of my favorite scenes in this arc, where Compress is over here like, I could really use some help or something, and Dobby's like, well, if you need a hand, just look behind you. And then Twice is like, all right here, and just as I don't know why that line cracks me up every single time that I watch it, but it's like it's just, oh, Dobby, you. It's so funny. I don't know why.
No, he's a great character, Dobby. Now it moves on to, I don't think, what's his name? What's that lizard guy? I don't think he gets an upgrade.
No, him and Compress really don't.
No, and it goes straight into Shigaraki's upgrade. After Gigantomachia starts running into the town, which again is a brilliant moment and brilliant thought process by the League of Villains. But Shigaraki's upgrade was being able to disintegrate everything. So he touches something and he disintegrates everything that thing is touching as well, and its disintegration just spreads. And that quirk, again, an absolute game changer and a very intelligent move. Oh, absolutely terrifying. Very intelligent on behalf of the My Hero Academia writers. He should have taken out the Liberation Army's boss a lot quicker, in my opinion. Thoughts, Bjorvio?
What I love about that fight is the way that they deal with Shigaraki. Like they have one episode called Origin, Tenko Shimura, and then the next one is Origin, Tomura Shigaraki. And the way that they handle like going through Tenko Shimura's backstory and what led him to be Tomura, and the whole thing where it's like, yes, he got a quirk awakening, but it's also he just realized what his real quirk was all along. And because of his own like trauma and his own influence from All For One, he kind of had to work through this. And this is him finally getting his memories back, finally accepting who he is, who he was, what he's done. And now he has access to his full quirk. And what I love watching this scene is you can tell the moment it happens, because Shigaraki typically is talking like this, and then all of a sudden his voice just drops and becomes more serious. So I think I don't remember the guy that Eric something who does Tomura Shigaraki's voice. Unbelievable performance in this arc. Absolutely incredible. And that's why I think Tomura is such a great villain. Robbie, did you enjoy the fight as a whole between Shigaraki and Redestra? What were your thoughts on that?
I liked it. I'm growing to like Shigaraki more and more because of like the development we've seen and everything. Like at first, I wasn't a huge fan. I was just kind of like, he's not that great of a villain, but he is terrifying. And then as the more you see, you kind of get to understand why he is the way he is, especially now after just he went through so much torture with all of that to try and up his powers, and it's like it looks like he was in a lot of pain, and I kind of was starting to feel for him. It almost like brought a tear to my eye because it's like, I mean, dude, nobody should go through that, you know. And it's like it's almost like it's kind of like a Darth Vader turn, because like Darth Vader's kind of like in that suit constantly being tortured just to make him more angry, and I feel like what Shigaraki has to go through, it just slowly makes him more and more angry to where he's using just mean anger, rage to fuel his revenge and power, and that's where his strength is coming, which is unfortunate.
That's good.
Yeah.
I saw Bjorvio's eye glint when you said Star Wars. I saw him get excited.
You have my attention now.
Darth Vader? What? No, that's so true. You guys speak so eloquently on the subject. But it finished. How did the fight finish again, Bjorvio? It's slipping my mind.
So what ends up happening is Tomura gets a good hit on Redestro, and basically like Redestro has to take off his own legs in order to prevent decay from spreading to him. And then he sees Makia and he goes, nope. I was like, based off their philosophy talk and this and that, he realizes that like what he values in the Liberation Army, Tomura Shigaraki is actually doing a better job of doing that than he is, and he kind of steps down, admits defeat, and lets Shigaraki be the the leader of what is now the Metahuman Liberation Army, which kind of cool. Also, you'll hear me refer to him as Tomura a lot instead of Shigaraki, because in my house we typically call him Shiggy, and I'm trying to give him the respect he deserves. So every time if you kind of hear me stutter and go Tomura, that's why.
I like that. Shiggy. Okay, that's cool. Now and a good place to end for us today in regards to talking about that and move into some improv. But yeah, great. I really enjoyed your guys' discussions on it. You both, like I said, are eloquent speakers, so thank you for that. Now, improv. I've had an idea. Now, I'm thinking we do a game show format again. We got Shigaraki and Endeavor as Robbie, and it's basically
I would like to hear that.
Yeah.
Endeavor doing my voice.
Oh yeah, true. Endeavor as Robbie. And we basically I ask the questions and you say, Robbie says Endeavor if he wants to answer it. Whoever says, Bjorvio says Shigaraki or Shiggy when when he wants to answer it, and whoever says their name first gets to answer first, and that's the game show idea. Okay, does that make sense to everyone?
Sounds good.
Yes, my lord.
An Endeavor's pretty fast, so brace yourself, Shiggy.
I don't recall giving you permission to say that to me, number one.
Oh,
I'm number one. I can say whatever I like.
Okay. Well, let's get into it. So, welcome to the game show everyone's talking about. Hero versus villain. Who has a better understanding of the My Hero Academia verse? Today we have the one, the only, Shiggy. Say hello, Shiggy.
I don't recall giving you permission to call me that. The last person that did, well, now he's missing a jawbone and people call him Dobby. But you will call me by my name, Tomura Shigaraki.
Okay, Tamara, Shiggy, that's fine. And also we have the man who's hot-headed, especially with his family, Endeavor.
Hello, Endeavor here, #1 hero.
Good, Endeavor. Welcome, #1. You're really nursing that #1 spot there. I like it. All right.
Took
First
me a long
question.
time to be on top.
Yeah, that's what your wife said too. First question. What is so remember, say your name when you're ready to answer, Shiggy or Endeavor. My Hero Academia is based on a manga that started in what year?
Tomura Shigaraki.
Shiggy, what's the answer?
I said not to call me that.
Tomura?
2016.
Oh, pretty close. The first one was a bit better. Robbie, I'm sorry, Endeavor, what's your answer?
2018.
Nice try. 2014. You both have -1
Ah.
points.
I went the wrong way.
I feel like I should get half a point for getting close, but whatever. I'll allow you to do what you want to do this time.
What did the doctor say was the reason for Izuku Midoriya
Tomura Shigaraki.
not getting his... All right, Shiggy?
How many times must we go through you calling me this, host?
Sorry, Tomura Shigaraki.
Thank you, that's much better. It's because his feet were too thick and with that extra bone
Yeah.
in his pinky toe.
Yep, 2 joints in his pinky toe. 1 point for Tomura. He's at 0. We got -1 for Endeavor.
Well, of course I would know that. The good doctor works for me.
Oh, true. Hold on.
That's not fair. He has inside information.
Has that ever been
All's
confirmed?
fair in love and war, #1.
Okay,
Leave it to a villain to cheat.
Leave it to a villain to play by the rules. The heroes are too chicken to play by.
So back to me, guys. I'm the host here, okay? You guys are the
Well,
players.
my deepest apologies.
How long does Izuku train to inherit All Might's quirk?
Endeavor.
Endeavor?
A month.
Wrong. Bam.
Ah,
That's much better. See, you are a good little lapdog. I would guess about 8 months.
You're closer. You get the point. 1 to -1. Okay.
been a
Which
while.
superhero?
I'm totally guessing.
Which of these superheroes is Tenya's brother? No, that's a stupid. No, what is Tenya's brother's name? Ida's brother's name.
Question: do we need? Will his hero name suffice, or do we
Yes.
actually need to?
Hero name.
Tomura Shigaraki.
Tomura Shigaraki?
The little brat goes by the name of his brother for some stupid reason, so I'm familiar with the name Ingenium.
Good job.
Should have known that one.
Nice. Very good. Okay. A couple more questions to go. We got Shigaraki in the lead. We have Endeavor falling behind, but I think we can up it a little bit now. So let's move on to what was poured on Todoroki's face.
Endeavor. Hot tea.
No, I think it was just hot water. Endeavor.
I was gonna say water, but I was like, damn it, it's just water.
You're
That's
the
boring. It's
father.
gotta be something else.
You were there.
Well, I mean, come on, look at the family history.
True. You don't really care.
I've been
about
more
your
focused
children.
on just breeding a power-hungry child, not what happens in their history.
Two more questions. Okay. Um, what was the what's the name of the future king of the pirates in One Piece?
And
Why would I know something like that?
Okay, all right. I'll change the question. Let's move to
No,
two more.
let number one have his fun.
Okay,
Let's
Endeavor.
just see.
Luffy.
You got it. Is he your mate of yours? Endeavor, that's great. And all right, marry, no, marry, kill, and kiss. Midnight. Um, Miss Miss Midnight, Izuku's mum, and the nurse girl who kisses injuries. Marry, kill, or kiss. There's only one right answer for this one. Who wants to take it?
Tomura Shigaraki.
Tomura Shigaraki. It's for the win.
The answer is so easy. You just kill all three of them with decay.
And Tomura wins. Tomura takes it. Well done. You win.
That was a great answer. I couldn't have beat that.
You win a washing machine. You win a washing machine that's valued at
Oh, thank goodness!
$1,200.
All of my clothes are still dirty from the month of training with Gigantomachia, so that's perfect. Maybe I'll even wash Toga's coat in there too. Dobby really could use some clothes washing too, but I'm not gonna pick that up with him.
You guys are good. You guys are good. Good job. That was good. Well done, you two. Really well done. And
Well done indeed. Nice job.
I threw in some tough questions in there.
If it wasn't for the Tomura
much
decay
so.
thing, I definitely would not have been able to answer that question.
No, true. And Endeavor, sorry, Robbie, what would have been your personal answer to that question?
Mary, probably the heel lady, because no doctor bills ever. And then
Oh, that's smart.
kiss, probably Deku's mom.
Ooh,
And then kill on the other one. Probably.
Midnight.
I think would be my route.
Oh, okay. You kissed Deku's mom.
Probably.
I see.
Well,
Okay.
I don't want to leave Deku without a mom.
True. True. That's true.
That's a fair
He
point.
doesn't have a dad, and then mom all of a sudden's gone. Now all of a sudden he turns to the dark side for no reason.
That's a valid point. My goodness. This
All right. Well, you convinced me.
I'm convinced as well. All right, I'll kiss.
I'd be
Deku's mom as
heartbroken
well.
if because he's already getting a little scary nowadays with how he's handling it, and all it takes is his mom dying, and he went right off the edge.
That's so true. That's so true. Well, that's awesome. Well done. And Robbie, we really appreciate having you on the show. Thank you so much. You did a really, really good job.
Thank you for having me.
And yeah, you're amazing. So yeah, really, really appreciate it. Bjorvio, you're absolutely incredible as always. And I'm just here for the ride, which I thoroughly, thoroughly enjoy. So Bjorvio, could you take us out with you have to do Shigaraki's voice for this one. Could you take us out again with Shigaraki's voice if possible?
I certainly can.
Thank you all for joining us today on the newest episode of the Anime Dudes podcast. It's really been fun. We hope you enjoy talking about your favorite villains. And no, that's not up for debate. We're your favorite villains in all of anime. And if not, well, there'll be some consequences. Please, if you would be so kind, as I know you are, please give us a rating and follow us on all of our respected social medias. Would really mean quite a bit to me, the future ruler of this world. So tune in next week when we go back to talking about boring things like me being asleep for the next 4 months in an excruciating pain. We can't wait to see you.